Hey everyone, welcome. And today we're going to go over how to create effective lead ads for contractors. And this has gained popularity because of the new updates, partially, which have made landing pages and websites a bit more difficult to track, whereas lead pages are always in Facebook. So let's get right into it. We have the lead generation here, and pretty much the big difference between lead generation and conversion ads is that the lead generation, of course, it takes you to an on Facebook lead form rather than a landing page or a website. Okay. I'm not going to go through how to set up the campaign or ad set because those are very similar in any objective you do for the most part. We're just going to go through the lead form for this video. Keep it short. So first, you can give it a form name. This is really up to you. Usually I like to give it kind of like the whatever offer I'm using for this ad, and maybe kind of like around the time that I use it. But really, the naming convention depends for you, how you can keep organized for when you have multiple forms. Now, the big thing with these forms is considering quality versus quantity, right? So right off the bat, we can see that it offers us more volume or higher intent. The only thing pretty much it does when we say higher intent is add a review screen after people submit their info to the questions that we're going to ask, and which I will go over. Generally, I don't add it, but if you want, you can. If, let's say, you try other things and you see that your lead quality is still poor. But let's go just to more volume for now. What you can do, another quality versus quantity, whether to have an intro page or not. As you can see, you can remove it. An intro page is just and just the starting page for when they click the ad, they go see a little promo or a little intro, sorry. 20% off of your residential painting project. And I'm doing a bit bad here because actually you should capitalize every word here, just for an aesthetic appeal. Um, it looks a bit nicer, more professional. And then what I would say, so you have that kind of title, and then you can add a little bit more detail. So the details can either be more info about the promo, let's say valid until July 6th, like time urgency, whatever it might be, low commitment, or you can talk more about kind of your options. So let's say we have 25 plus, 25 plus shades of whatever color, or just add more details. All right, so you can add that about your, depending on your specific contractor or service that you're offering for this ad, make it obviously relevant. If it's bathroom remodel, if it's painting, if it's like window installation, whatever it might be, make it relevant. Okay, now if you want as well, you can remove the greeting, and I'll just show you what it does. What it does is when people click, they directly go to your questions. So we have two sets of questions. We have these contact info questions, and we also have what I like to call qualified questions. So qualifying questions are the questions obviously we add to help qualify the leads. Because if we don't have them, what can happen is all of leads, because this sometimes has autofill, all they have to do is click the ad, they see this, they're like, next, okay, done. And it takes a few seconds, which is great in terms of a time commitment perspective for the potential clients. But sometimes they're like, oh, I barely remember doing that, or I did that by accident. And so obviously that shows a reduced quality. So generally I would advise to add some kind of qualifying questions. The only time I would say is to not add is if you already saw that with qualifying questions, you're getting good leads, but really not enough, like barely or zero, then either take off some questions or completely take it off and see how it changes. It's all about testing. So for questions, you can have email, name. Generally, I also like to add phone number, and you can rearrange to whatever you want. Generally, I like to do name, phone, email. You can also add city if you want, if your services are span for a wider area. Also add a little note here. Please fill below. Oops. please fill below, and we will contact you for a quote, let's say, within 24 hours. Right, something like that. If you have a different time frame, if you can do it within a few hours, that's better. Okay, research shows that after a few hours, leads become quite a bit more cold than the first few hours. Now, what we also do is add the questions here. Now, we have these 4 types, but generally I stick to multiple choice or short answer. So for example, as a contractor, it's very important for you to know if they're the homeowner, right? So you would just ask, are you the homeowner, right? Some people spell homeowner with 1 word, some people spell with 2. Make sure that you use the more appropriate one in your area. And then you would add yes, add no, add, okay? And you can add other questions, what type of remodel, and make it more specific to your whatever service you're offering, elegant, modern, and you can keep going. And for questions like these where you're asking about maybe their style or their taste, always include other at the end, giving like maybe 3 options, not just 2, and then other. But again, that depends on your service, okay? So when they click the add, if you have qualifying questions, it would start with the qualifying questions. And then once they submit that, then it would go to the contact questions. After that's done, it would show the privacy policy. So for you, you would add the link here. You can also find privacy policy generators if you don't have one already on Google. There's some free ones. You can add your own disclaimer, but otherwise you would go to the complete page. So you can change it however you want. You can leave it thanks, you're all set. You can visit our website, but generally, at least this part, I like to make more specific. See our previous, let's say, painting projects below, something like that. 1 or 2 sentences max, I would say here. You don't need to go too crazy. As well in the beginning, in that intro, if you have 1 or 2 sentences in the description. And the call to action, you can have view website, download, or call business. If you have a lead magnet, then you can do download, let's say. But otherwise, you can do view website, and you can do view ABC paintings website. Just an example. It's just nice. People see a customized button, right? And then you would add your link here. So once that all set, that's pretty much all you need to worry about. There's not much in here that you need to be worried about. It's more specific, but for your qualification, and of course, getting a good quantity of leads, it's all done here. So you can mess around with the amount of qualified questions, whether you want an intro or not, whether you want a review page or not. You can keep testing and seeing what works better to find that balance. And what I would say is once you click publish, you cannot edit a form. So when you do it, try to make sure you check everything, that the spelling is correct, everything, and that it's in the format you want. But also, if you decide to change something later on, what you can, once it's published, you'll see it in the list, and then you can duplicate it actually. So once you duplicate it, it opens like a draft, and over there you'll be able to change it, and you'll just have another copy, a changed copy, and you can rename it and everything. Okay, so you would click publish. I can publish it, it doesn't really matter. Oh, I need another URL. Doesn't matter. Here you go. .com, and we publish it, right? And it shows up here. So as you can see here, you can duplicate, and it'll open up another one with everything the same. And then once you save it, it'll be just another copy of it. Okay. And once you have that, it automatically clicks here, and then you would publish your ad. Right. So keep testing between the different amount of questions. Qualifying questions between 1 to 3, I would say, is optimal. Only do more than that if really you're getting a lot of leads, even with like 3 questions and you really need to sort them out, then you can add more. But that doesn't happen as often. So 1 to 3 is the sweet spot. If you have any questions, let me know.